What's going on, YouTubers? It's the Natural Born Thriller, and welcome everyone to WWE NXT Review, the show from July 24th, 2019. They were in Full Sail University at Winter Park, Florida, where your commentators were Mauro Ranallo, Beth Phoenix, and Nigel McGuinness. And let's get to the show here. So we get Jordan Miles versus Angel Garza, where it pertains to the semi-final match in the NXT Breakout tournament match. Or tournament, just say tournament. So yeah, Garza and Miles goes at each other here. Both guys looked good. Unfortunately, one of them had to win. I was going for Angel Garza to win, but in a shocking way, with a deathlift German suplex into a bridge, you got Jordan Miles, formerly known as ACH, gets the win over Angel Garza. That shot the hell on me, like, whoa, what? And on top of that, it was a decent match. These guys they look like they gel so well together. They have good chemistry, and I enjoyed this match for what it was. After the match, all of a sudden we see Shane Thorne, formerly known as with his partner Nick Miller of the Mighty. He yanks the headsets off of Mauro Ranallo, and Shane Thorne's wondering what's the point of bringing in these 8 new stars, where they've been here for 3 years doing the work, while these 3 were nowhere in sight. And Shane Thorne said that he doesn't need a tournament to be a breakout. He says he'll break out of his own, and also he starts leaving. So I like this. Shane Thorne, he's been a disgruntled he's being disgruntled, kind of like what pertains to with the Miz, CM Punk. I'm not gonna say Seth Rollins. Fuck Seth Rollins, by the way. He's fucking garbage. Kevin Owens, AJ Lee. Yeah, AJ Lee. In a way, in a way, kind of was being a little disgruntled. What pertains to her character back in the day. But the point is, Shane Thorne, is basically being a disgruntled employee, what pertains to him being a big star, and he knows he is, that, and we're gonna see how that turns out. I can't wait to see what they do with Shane Thorne. So we see Johnny Gargano backstage, who tells Adam Cole that when he gets family involved, it becomes personal. It's no longer it's no longer about winning the title. It's about beating the living hell out of Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano. And by the way, pertains to this whole thing, it was an announcement that Adam Cole will be defending his NXT Championship against Johnny Gargano at Takeover Toronto during SummerSlam weekend. And this will not be no ordinary match. Basically, it's gonna be like what they had from WrestleMania weekend with the 2 out 3 falls. I can't remember where they were at this year at WrestleMania. Was it where, in Dallas, maybe? If I'm mistaken. Can't remember if they were in Dallas this year or not, but the point is, so Adam Cole versus Johnny Gargano is gonna happen again, but instead of being a 2 out 3 falls match here, in a way it kind of is, but the way this was being looked at is a 3 stages of hell, and some of you may not know what that is. So here's what Gargano said. His first pick of stipulation of the first match they're gonna have is a street fight. So it's gonna be Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole in the first fall, the first stage, and it will be a street fight. And but we'll get to Adam Cole later on too, by the way. So for those who don't know what three stages of hell is, look look up Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Triple H from 2001. That was a good example of the three stages of hell. The first match between Austin and Triple H was a singles match. The second match was I think it was either no holds bar or street fight. It was one of those two, and then finally it led to a steel cage match. Obviously, Austin won the first fall. Triple H won the second fall, and then the third fall, you know, spoiler alert, Triple H won that one, which I thought was fucking bullshit. And by the way, fuck Triple H. But anyways, that's an example of three stages of hell. And there's other three stages of hell too that have as well. I think Shawn Michaels Triple H had that before too. And by the way, yeah, and the irony too, right? It always involved Triple H, that overrated piece of shit. But one also involved John Cena versus Ryback, where the first match was a lumberjack match, then it was a tables match, and then it was an ambulance match. And that was back in 2014. No, actually 2013. Yeah, it was 2013. I remember that year too. Man, John Cena once again champion by beating The Rock, and then they ruined Ryback's push by turning him heel. But yeah, but that's the point of what the stipulation was made here. Where pertains to Gargano versus Cole for Takeover Toronto. The first fall is going to be street fight, which it was chosen by Johnny Gargano. Basically, again, it's kind of 2 or 3 falls, but in the way this is being booked, it's going to be three stages of hell. So, and we'll get to Adam Cole later on. What was his stipulation match for the second fall? We get Bianca Belair versus Xia Li. And Bianca Belair immediately rams Xia Li into the corner, stomping her and everything. Xia Li tries to shove her up, but Bianca Belair was kept coming back. Basically, they're building up. Bianca Belair is so strong, her being dominant and everything. And they did the same thing with Bianca Belair doing it to Priscilla Zaniga, and now they're doing it with Xia Brookside here. I mean, not Xia Brookside, Xia Li, excuse me. Now Xia Li, she had a few moves in the match, but other than that, it was also showcased Bianca Belair that she wants to get back in that title hunt, and the only way to do that is for her to squash, these women's that she steps in the ring with. And sure enough, that's what happened. So she went for the KOD and gets the win over Xia Li. So all this time you've been up Xia Li of being a martial artist of the women's division on NXT. You just fed her to Bianca Belair. Fuck you, Triple H. And it's got nothing to do with me hating on Bianca Belair. She's pretty good. She's very talented. You could tell how talented Bianca Belair is. This has nothing to do with Bianca Belair. This is how Triple H is booking someone like a Xia Li. We get a video vignette of Killian Dane who talks about Matt Riddle and says that Matt Riddle isn't just anybody, he's somebody, which is why Killian Dane chose Matt Riddle, because he's somebody that he wants to attack. And he says that this isn't MMA. That's no reason why he attacked him too. He says this is Killian Dane's world, and there are no rules, and can't wait to introduce Riddle to his world. Basically, a teaser there that it's going to be a match between Matt Riddle and Killian Dane, which I'm assuming is probably going to be at Takeover Toronto. But we'll see. Let's see if that ends up being on the card. Then we see what happened at the Performance Center. There was a security camera of Jessica Menduke after she was done training, her training section. She was going to her locker. All of a sudden, Mia Yim attacks her. She beats her up and yells at her and say, yo, surprise motherfucker. Now you didn't hear the word motherfucker, but you heard the surprise motherfucker, something like that, Basically they bleeped it, and then she continued to beat her up and everything, and then she kicks the locker. Well, first she hit the locker that Jessica McDougal was in, from her head, and then that's when the beating started happening. And then another locker that was underneath, she had Jessica McDougal's shoulder there, and then slams it, and then Jessica McDougal's shoulder was damaged from there, and she was screaming in pain. Jessica McDougal was screaming in pain, and then Mia Yim walks away like nothing happened, and like wow, this is becoming very intriguing here for Mia Yim, because she's becoming a legit threat to the Four Horsewomen. Now, Shayna Baszler is going to be the next one that Mia Yim's going to target, and it's going to be at Takeover Toronto. So, obviously they're building Mia Yim up to face Shayna Baszler, but the question is she the woman to beat and to dethrone the Queen of Spades and Shayna Baszler to become the new NXT Women's Champion? We'll see. We'll see. Then we get yeah. Well, actually, in a way, I'm kind of glad I'm up to this part because it's going to happen on this during the segment. So the NXT North American Champion, the Velveteen Dream, shows up, and he talks about Roderick Strong, saying he's a hell of a man, but he's not the guy that he wants to go all night. He literally said that. I fucking hate the Velveteen Dream character. And it says that Strong isn't big enough to ride this dream or experience, whatever. I don't know how he said it. Oh yeah, he said ride this ride. He's not big enough to ride this ride. And he says he wants somebody else instead. So then Roderick Strong comes out and basically says that he's more deserving than anyone, and says that it should be him versus the Dream at Takeover. I just remember how Roderick Strong said it too. Oh yeah, I remember now. He says to the Dream, "Give me what I want." Basically, like with Batista, with Triple H, for the ability for WrestleMania, and now Roderick Strong, "Give me what I want." Now, he didn't say it too many times like Batista did, but when Roderick Strong said "Give me what I want," I got a flashback reference there of Batista of his Triple H segment, and it wasn't that long ago. But when you look back at it, it felt like it was like an eternity of Batista and Triple H, because it was just months ago that Batista was like, "Give me what I want" to Triple H, because Triple H was taking too long for his promo. So yeah, Roderick Strong wants a shout out of that, and he says it's undisputed, whatever. And then all of a sudden, Pete Dunne, the Bruiserweight's music hit, and that woke the hell out of me. I'm like, what? Pete Dunne's on NXT? And Roderick Strong's like, no way. He's like, you're not taking my spot. And then all of a sudden, Pete Dunne gets his fingers and, oh my gosh, breaks it. Not literally, but still. But then Pete Dunne looks at the Velveteen Dream, and the Velveteen Dream backs off. And basically Pete Dunne standing in the ring. And like, now that's the match I want. Someone to beat the Dream to become the new NXT North American Champion. And that's Pete Dunne. Now, no disrespect to Roderick Strong, but that's the guy who should beat the Velveteen Dream to become the new NXT North American Champion. So, is Pete Dunne on NXT? Well, let's get to it right now. So also we go backstage, and Roderick Strong got the camera guy with him to document this, and he confronts William Regal, and he's not happy about what Pete Dunne did, and William Regal doesn't disagree with Roderick Strong of being the challenger, because Roderick Strong does make a pleasing argument that he is the true challenger, and William Regal does agree to it, that he is a good challenger for the Velveteen Dream, and he says, but Pete Dunne is going to be in the mix of it as well. So basically, at Takeover Toronto, it's going to be Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne and the Velveteen Dream in a triple threat match for the NXT North American Championship. And then, where we go, took exception to Roderick Strong's, what pertains to Pete Dunne, that he wants a piece of him, and he says on the next NXT show, it will be Roderick Strong versus Pete Dunne. And that match, folks, I'm assuming that's probably the main event match. I'm assuming, but I can't wait. I cannot wait for that match though. So, and on top of that, I've seen this match before between Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong. Amazed of their match, of their one-on-one match, and it's gonna be pretty amazing again. So hopefully Pete Dunne is there for the long haul. Basically, Rodrigo said that he's there for a little bit. We'll see how that turns out. Because to be honest with you folks, there's really not much for Pete Dunne to do on NXT UK anymore. I mean, he's already been the longest reigning United Kingdom champion for a long time, and he's done some plenty of matches with with Mustache Mountain, with all three of them together. They're British Strong style. So there's really not much to do for Pete Dunne on NXT UK. I mean, he'll still show up there on NXT UK still, but I would love to see Pete Dunne to be featured more on NXT. And what better way for Pete Dunne to establish himself on NXT than to catch him some NXT championship goals. And that and it starts with the North, and obviously it starts with the North American Championship, and then he can move himself up to the NXT, the main championship, and that's the NXT championship. So I'll love to see that, folks. I truly would love to see that. Pete Dunne, he deserves every bit of it because he is one of the best in the world. Then we get to so Pete Dunne will face Roderick Strong on next NXT show, and I will tune with that one, obviously, and I will do a review of that one too, obviously. Then we get to Io Shirai versus Casey Catanzaro, and basically Io Shirai, she's in black and white with her entrance, and much more darker. She's still wearing the leather pants, so she's gonna wrestle in that. And basically she's all black, obviously, wearing all black. Showcasing that she's more evil. Well, actually, she never was evil, but she was always a face, a baby face, that a good girl. But now she's more bad. But now she's bad. She's a bad girl. But she immediately goes at rather Casey, work on her a little bit. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, Cancer Ray comes out and attacks Io Shirai to get back at her. What happened with Cancer Ray a few weeks ago, which obviously was a month ago. So basically the match was a waste. I mean, I thought they was going to showcase Io Shirai to destroy Casey Catanzaro. But that wasn't the case at all. It was just for Cancer Ray to make a return to go after Io Shirai, and I'm assuming that's going to be the match upcoming on NXT Takeover for Toronto. Maybe I don't know if it is or not, but it depends. But yeah, but Cancer Ray goes after Io Shirai. Io Shirai and Cancer Ray went at it. Cancer Ray gets a steel chair, goes after Io Shirai, but Io Shirai gets out of there, and there you go. And that's the feud that's it's gonna be building up now between Io Shirai and Cancer Ray, former friends. Oh yeah, and Io Shirai won by disqualification because Cancer Ray interfered. Now we get to Adam Cole, baby. His stipulation match, what pertains to Johnny Gargano, is gonna be a regular wrestling match. And he brings up the fact about Johnny Gargano, being Johnny Wrestling and everything, blah blah blah. And he's already beaten Gargano in that kind of match, so he's gonna do it again. So yeah, so Gargano first choice stipulation in the first stage of the match is going to be street fight, and the second stage of the match chosen by Adam Cole of his stipulation is going to be a regular wrestling match. And the third stipulation will be up to the NXT general manager, and that's William Regal. And that's another thing, folks. That will not come onto, I believe, the next episode of NXT, because William Regal didn't announce it on this show though. So, but we'll see. We'll find out from William Regal's third stipulation is going to be. What pertains to the what pertains to John Gargano versus the NXT champion Adam Cole, baby, in a 3 Sections of Hell match at Takeover Toronto for the NXT championship. And finally, we get to Keith Lee versus Damian Priest. Damian Priest, formerly known as Punishment Martinez. And match itself between Keith Lee and Damian Priest was a damn good back and forth match between these two guys, with both of them being sick athletes, especially Keith Lee with his size and physique, amazing athlete. I wonder if Brian Cage and Keith Lee ever had a match, before Keith Lee went to WWE, but that's something I gotta look up though. But yeah, as far as this match was, with it being good and everything, I was thinking to myself, how are they going to try to protect, Damian Priest if he loses? And at the same time, how are you going to protect Keith Lee if he loses? Because they bring up, Damian Priest, who's a new guy on NXT, obviously. And on top of that, they were repackaging, Keith Lee, of him being, being there for a year now, and he hasn't done much, for a year so far, and now it's his second year, and he wants to make the better of it and have more opportunities and everything. So, what was going to give here? So, here's what happened. All of a sudden, the match spilled out of the ring, and they start battling outside, and Keith Lee ends up going to the steps by Damian Priest, and then Keith Lee ends up powering up and everything, and goes after Damian Priest, gets in the ring, and then he's going to get back into the ring, Keith Lee. All of a sudden, Damian Priest, trying to remember how he did it. Either he kneed him as he tried to get into the ring, or kicked him. But anyway, that wasn't the finish of the match though. The finish of the match was that Keith Lee was going after Damian Priest in the ring, and then Damian Priest uses the referee as a shield, or to give him a cyclone boot, excuse me. It gives him the rolling cutter, which by the way they still haven't come up with a move for it yet. Oh yeah, I think they did. The Reckoning. Yeah, that's what it is. The rolling cutter that he does, they call it the Reckoning, and he gets a 3 count in the win. So basically, in a way, they protected Keith Lee of losing here, because with the whole referee being used as a shield and everything. Like that's never been done before in wrestling, right? You can't come up with anything new, Triple H. Fuck you. But anyways, Damian Priest wins the match, and what's going to happen with Keith Lee later on? I don't know. We have to wait and see. I mean, the one thing they can do with him losing like this, which I think will be stupid. The one thing they can do is have Keith Lee turn heel. But I don't know. I digress. But yeah, match itself, I still thought it was good though. Talking about wrestling for WWE NXT. Oh, yeah, I was the end of the show. From July 24th, 2019 for NXT. But yeah, talking about wrestling for NXT, for WWE NXT. From again July 24th, 2019. 4 matches, including the match that even though it wasn't much of a match anyways between Io Shirai and Casey Katazaru, but still, I guess it was still included though. So 4 matches, and my overall rating for the show, I'm gonna go 6.5 out of 10. Good show. And that being said, folks, thank you all for watching. For It's the Natural Born Driller, saying peace on the streets. For this was your WWE NXT review. Until next time, I'll be doing another WWE NXT review upcoming this week, what pertains to Pete Dunne versus Roderick Strong, which I'm assuming that's gonna be the main event. And also another match was added to was Tyler Breeze versus or his name is very drawing a blank on me now. Riker. Oh yeah, Jackson Riker. There you go. I don't know why his name drew a blank for, but yeah, Tyler Breeze versus Jackson Riker, and then you got Pete Dunne versus Roderick Strong. That's part of the main event. Pete Dunne versus Roderick Strong. But yeah, that'll be for the next NXT show, and that will be my or I'm gonna be doing my review for my NXT review for that episode. So, but yeah, take care, folks.